Hello, everybody. Um, the topic today we're going to talk about marketing analytics. This is very important because in the end, you want to be able to look at the data and interpret that into something meaningful, right? So let's start dig into that. So one thing that we could get, which is very useful from using marketing analytics, is to use it for customer relationship management or the CRM. If you remember, CRM is something very important because you want to create a long-lasting relationship with your customers. So having to learn about your customers, know what they want, what they like, what they don't like, could help enhancing a very good relationship with them. This is why we need to be able to look at the data and interpret that in a meaningful way in order to maintain a good relationship with the customers. The characteristic of the CIM, these are the four main things that you can get from using CIM. The share of customers, lifetime value of customers equity, and customer prioritization. So let's start with the share of customers first. So for this one, customers, they have a limited amount of money, right? So when they buy something, you want them to buy that product from you. They have so many different options that they can choose from, but of course, you want them to stick with you, right? Having a good relationship will make consumers feel like, okay, they want to stick with you, they want to buy products from you. The lifetime value of customers and customer equity, those are kind of in the same direction. You want to know the value of your customers throughout his or her lifetime, right? From the first day that they become your customers until the last day that they are your customers. And that's what we call the lifetime value of customers. But for customers equity, is when you look at lifetime value of customers plus how much money companies have to spend in order to maintain this relationship. And then lastly, the customer prioritization. This is when you try to excuse me, prioritize your customers because each one of them are not as important as others. Some will bring in a lot of money or profits to the organization. Some not so much. So those who bring in a lot of profits to the organization should be treated first and nicely. Those who may or may not bring anything to the organization can be last. Now move on to the term that we call the big data. You have heard of this term before, probably. This is when you look at all of this data that you collect, that you have accumulated over times, and try to make sense of it. Try to interpret something meaningful out of that. All right. The source of this big data come from several different things. It could be from social media, corporate IT sources, government, commercial entity, and partners, business partners. As for the social media, we can get a lot of information from social media nowadays. People post a lot of information, share a lot of information to public. Right? We can use that to figure out what they really think about you, about your brand. Okay, there's some techniques we call the web scraping, the brand mapping, or sentiment analysis. These are the techniques that when you use them, you can gather information from social media, looking at keywords when people talk about your brands, whether they like or dislike your brand. Right. Besides social media, you can also get information from your IT sources, your corporation, corporate database, right? Accounting database, all of these different databases that you have within the organization. You can also get information from the government entities. Right? These are the common places that you can go if you want to collect certain information. You can also get it from commercial entities. There are businesses out there that the main purpose is to collect data and sell that data to businesses who may be able to use that data. Right? They collect credit card information, they collect consumers' behavior information, all sorts of things that they collect, and then they can sell that to other businesses. And of course, you can exchange or collect information from your partner. Right? You may collect something that your partners want, and they may have something that you want. So you two, or you three or four, can trade or change this information. The next thing that I would like to talk about is what we call the data mining. So big data is pretty much a lot of information combined together, right? But all of this data is pretty much raw data that you may not know what to do with it. Data mining is a technique that you can use to um, pretty much to extract useful information out of this huge data that you have and look at things that you are interested in. Okay, and the whole reasons of using the data mining are these reasons. You can use that for market basket analysis, for customer acquisition, customer abandonment, and customer retention and loyalty. For the first one, market basket analysis. If you shop, with Amazon, when you shop something, right, the website will collect the information, and in the future, when you go back to the website again, it will provide you some recommendation based on your past purchase. This is what we call the market basket analysis. It's when you use the past information to suggest or recommend future purchase. We can use the data for customer acquisition. When you know them quite well, you know what they want, what they like, what they don't like, so you can create related message or products that will attract them to your company. You can use that to retain and those customers who are loyal to you, make them very happy. And sounds kind of bad, but some customers are not very profitable. Right? You can use the data to figure out who they are, and perhaps it's not very worth keeping them or trying to maintain relationship with them because they are not bringing in any profit or any benefits to your companies at all. All of these techniques that we've been talking about so far, it's a part of what we call the marketing analytics. But this is when you try to make sense of the information, right? And be able to use these data information that you have collected for so long. One of the techniques in marketing analytics, we call this a predictive analytics. This is when you use the large data that you collected and try to predict the future outcomes. So based on the past information that you collect, you may be able to predict, okay, in the next 3 months, what kind of products your customers are going to purchase. And you can come up with the good or appropriate promotional techniques that they will attract customers to buy products from you. So these are a few main things I would like to talk about. So please go back and read the chapter. The book will give you more explanation and examples of what this topic is all about. And if you have questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me. All right. See you next time.